Are you going to Greensboro? Heading into Greensboro and leaving the rural hills of Appalachia, you immediately notice how cozy every downtown street is. It is the third largest city in the state of North Carolina, and it is home to 5 colleges and universities. Once in the heart of the city, you're surrounded by various locally owned businesses and stores. It gives this area a sense of security you don't just find anywhere. I mean, you can just feel the history of this city, and it really leaps out at you when you look around. After sightseeing in the city, you can head into the Southside neighborhood to Dame's Chicken and Waffles. It's a regional chain with only one thing on the menu. That's right, chicken and waffles. Admittedly, it also has some Southern cuisine staples, like grits and shrimp. Now, I'm not kidding when I say it'll be the best chicken and waffles you'll ever have. It literally melts in your mouth. We were recommended to visit the landmarks of Greensboro's history, and one of them is at the A&T University, where we find the Greensboro Four. These men staged a series of sit-ins in the F.W. Woolworth Company store to protest segregation. Today, that same store is the International Civil Rights Center and Museum. This center is a block away from our subject for episode 2 of Locals Unknown. You'll find parking on the adjacent block of West Washington Street. Make sure you give yourself enough curb clearance because it's a bit of a tight fit. Arriving at the front door, you'll need to contact someone to buzz you in. Before we get inside though, let's introduce the founder of IFM. Hey guys, I'm here at IFM 31 with Brandometry. How are you today?
Pretty good, how are you?
I'm well, so I'm just going to ask you some questions. How long has IFM been in operation and what has your role been?
My name is Brandometry, like you said. I'm the captain of Iron Fist Monthly to many. We started in 2021, August 2021. It was right before, right when the pandemic, when people were actually, comfortable coming outside, was in August of 2021. I had moved away from Atlanta. I was actually in Atlanta with, everybody down there. Shout out to Greg and, all the 404 crew. And ever since August 2021, we've been having a scene here in Greensboro.
Once inside, you get a glorified corporate office feel. However, in this building there are many medical practices, firms, and stores. Luckily, this building is not used on the weekends, so they have the entire 8th floor to run a full-on FGC tournament. It's pretty funny that in our first episode we were in the basement of a pizza parlor. Now we're running sets 8 stories high. With this grassroots venue, you get your typical assortment of video game posters, tons of branding everywhere, and enough setups to run a Tekken tournament with ease. As a bonus, they also have a small store to buy snacks and drinks, ran by Zeus with Wicked Reality Esports. Inside the main hub, you'll find even more setups, the tournament organizer's desk, and the stream station. It's even got a commentator's booth and extra monitors so that the audience can see a live feed of gameplay from the stream setup. With that, people are starting to trickle in here for their pre-tournament warm-ups. In the North Carolina Tekken scene, you can expect to get matches in with people of all skill levels, so consider arriving early to get a lot of casual matches in. What steps, maybe for newer or existing TOs that are struggling right now, what steps did you have to take to get these venues?
Okay, so first thing is first, I always tell people, when they ask me, hey, like, how did you get to, the position where you're in? At first, I was just a player. I've been doing this since 2006. This is what I do on my free time. This is a huge part of my life. It's my favorite pastime. I would first start out by just going to your locals or going to, certain events and just meet people, build relationships. And then once you build relationships and people, understand like, okay, this person, he or she, or, they take this seriously, and once, they establish that in their mind, go to a recreation center or maybe a YMCA. At first, I wouldn't charge any money. I would just have just normal get-togethers, play some games. And, if it gets to the point where, you're able to establish a tournament, then, make sure you have some equipment or ask people in your community to bring some equipment and just make it a real community effort. Start from there and then, come up with a nice brand and just keep it moving, right?
The commentator's booth has just about everything you need. The stream engineers even provide information on the current players on stream and who is next. The stream setup has multiple cameras to capture every moment at IFM. It shows how dedicated everyone is to give the spectators a great show. The stream setup is at the far end of the table here, right next to the off-stream setups. With that, you can conveniently view on and off-stream matches with other spectators. Throughout the event, there's a rotation of different commentators. Anyone can commentate if they would like to. Just ask the TOs and they'll be happy to accommodate you. For this IFM, we had Kanme Esports and Studios on site selling fighting game themed keychains and stickers. This entire assortment is created by the wonderful artist team at Kanme and its founder, Siam. So, you saw the venue, got to meet the founder of IFM. Now let's meet some of the several players that make up this scene. First, we'll start off with the best Shaheen in North America, Rhythm. How did you discover IFM?
Originally, I was just looking for some offline locals here in North Carolina when I moved here, and I saw there was a couple in Raleigh, and that's where I had met people like Brandon and Hendo, and then they kind of told me about the rest of the locals they have here, the Zephyr Arcade place, IFM eventually, and the RDU scene. So just meeting those guys, they're super good and a good offline play, something that I really look forward to if I can, and it has been hard for me. So it's just anytime I get the chance, I just try and come out here.
So I actually discovered IFM at a place called the HQ a long time ago, about 2 years ago. I used to be a Smash player, play Smash all the time. That's where I went to get practice. Then I met Brandon, and Brandon used to have these little handshake dojos at his house. Every Tuesday I used to pull up, and it was free for taking practice. So that's how I got in, and then I started playing IFM, and that's how I was rolled out.
Came across a YouTube video of one of the old that they had, and happened to overhear something about a handshake house where people were meeting up and playing the games.
Was the handshake house like a thing before IFM? Because I saw that they would host some things like in people's houses.
Brandon had seen that there was a scene in Greensboro. He started to open up his house to let people come over and just train and practice, and that, so it's kind of how it was for a while.
I guess like the prime example that you can host a FGC local pretty much anywhere.
With the Twitter search bar, I typed in North Carolina Tekken, and Brandon Twitter page popped up. It was like one of the first IFMs, like IFM 2 or 3.
This is during the people keep bringing up the handshake house.
Oh yeah. We had oh my God, that was crazy. We had a monthly at the handshake house, and that was a good time. It's crazy to think about how far we came just in the span of 2-3 years. Like, a lot has changed when I was a kid, like 13. Like, if I could tell myself what I'd be doing right now, I'd be playing Tekken every weekend with people offline, I would probably cry. I wanted this for so long.
So a lot of people, all the players that I've interviewed so far, they talk about the handshake houses and different things like that. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Okay, so there's an inside joke with the handshake house. So pretty much on Facebook, I was just using the handshake emoji all the time. So I would troll, and I would post statuses on Facebook and tweets, and just use the handshake emoji. So I was actually in a house. I had roommates, but it was a pretty big space, so I kind of used that space to hold just sessions for people to come over, get to know each other, just learn about the game on a beginner level. Because I'm not a top player, but I think I'm pretty decent in Tekken, so I could teach somebody what a down for one is, what a jab, how to sidestep left to right when you're -5 on block or less, or -4 on block or less. So that it went from that to we outgrew the house. We went to a few bars, and in the bars they were fed up with us for whatever reason, and we went back to the house because the house is where the heart is, right? So
I scrolled through Facebook and some Discords in the Greensboro community. I was fortunate enough to run into Brandometry, who promotes these like crazy, fortunately. So it seems like the hardest thing is getting the actual voice out there, getting people to know that there even is a tournament locally. So fortunately, through Brandometry's promotion, I was able to find the Discord and find IFM, 10 Frame Fridays, and the RDU monthlies around here as well.
That's awesome. And that's kind of something that we're doing, is trying to touch on that untapped audience that wants some good ass Tekken.
This summer 2021, I just downloaded Twitter to look at, combo videos, and I saw Brandon had tweeted about people in Greensboro wanting to play Tekken. I was like, I don't live far from Greensboro, so I DM'd him. A few months later, IFM happens. I showed up my first ever offline tournament. So the only person I knew was Brandon, because I messaged him on Twitter, and here we are.
IFM basically was born out of necessity. Brandon and I kind of been in the community for a while, and we wanted to bring Tekken back to kind of central North Carolina, Greensboro area. We had pockets in RDU area and Charlotte, but we want to bring everybody back to where we back in the heyday of Tekken 5. So we kind of got some local areas, and we just kind of kicked it off from there. And then IFM is kind of what's just born from that.
What has the relationship been like with the venues?
Most of the venues, they really stopped being available for us out of our control, right? So it's not like, oh, well, the gamers are rowdy. Like, no, they enjoy it. They enjoy the money that it brings. They enjoy the social aspect that it brings to their venues. But, unfortunately, people don't understand what we do, right? So if they look at esports, they're just like, oh, it's just people playing video games, and, and they're just like, okay, well, whatever. We're just going to have some free bands from, the coast play instead of having 50 people, right? Fortunately for us, me and Zeus, we've had a professional relationship for the past 2 years, and we were able to establish an agreement to where we could start having it here. At first, I had I would say a complaint, but I had a concern about parking. But in downtown Greensboro, parking is free, fortunately for us. So.
Wait, the tournament hasn't even started yet. Why is everyone leaving? As it turns out, IFM takes a family photo at every monthly. And since there are so many people, it's impossible to pull off indoors. So they find a nearest space, and Brandometry tries to coordinate the chaos into one big, happy family. Tell me what you like most about IFM.
Honestly, just the setup and the community. I've been to a lot of different tournaments, and nothing really compares to IFM.
The people makes it. I'm not gonna lie. The game is cool. Of course, everybody's here. They love the game, but the people is what really matters the most.
The reason I come to IFM to play, is to hang out with my friends and get better. If I didn't if I didn't want to beat Benelli and Jao so badly, I probably wouldn't keep playing Tekken, because like they're so good. I'm tired of losing to them, so I'm gonna come back and beat them this time. I haven't beat them yet, but we're getting close. We're getting close.
I like that people could just touch base with people they haven't seen in a while, and it's, you're also seeing a lot of people grow. Hendo, we talk about that. Like, he's probably like one of the, arguably the top player in North Carolina. I remember when he was coming locals and he was getting beaten by day 3 Shaheen. And he went and became a lab monster. And then also just touching base with people like Ace, Dom, I haven't seen. And I took 10 years off of Tekken, believe it or not. And just touching base with him and seeing when he was still a teenager, and now he's, traveling around, he's, 37 grown man. So now he's actually enjoying it, and he's coming into himself, and he's got a career and everything too. So it's just nice seeing people just grow.
What I like most about IFM, definitely for sure, like the community of people here. Some locals you go to, like, people are cool, sometimes weird, but here, like, there's no weird people. Everybody's so chill, you know what I mean? Even the people who aren't like super good pros, they just love playing Tekken, love getting games in. Just the people here are just super chill. Brandon, Hendo, so there's so many people I can name, but it's just that when I come here, it's always cool. It's like, meeting good friends that I haven't even known that long, but it feels that way.
The people, right? If you are someone who this is your first tournament ever and you go 0-2, or if you're someone who's gonna make top 8, regardless of your performance, you're gonna have fun. I've met a lot of friends through this tournament that I otherwise may not have ever met them, right? And, we'll hang out outside of the tournament. I like hanging out with all these people, but I can also do it while playing Tekken, right? At a tournament. And that's easily the best part. So regardless of how I do today, I'm gonna have fun, so.
IFM is a really cool community. When I first started coming here, there was a big sense of family. There were people bringing food, home cooked. There's a guy brings cookies every now and again. It's a cool vibe in here. There's a lot of sharing tech, sharing equipment even, and a lot of people putting hands in on making sure that the stream is running correctly, that the bracket's running efficiently, and that everybody's having a good time. The TOs are very hands-on and in a very positive way too. So it's a nice, welcoming environment.
They all said their favorite part was socializing with others and building relationships that transcend the games they play. You can see the connection everyone has with each other plain as day. Even in the thick of it, rivals will go up to one another and offer coaching advice. It's a great sight to see. What is the average turnout like?
The average turnout for IFM, I would say between 25 and 40 people, right? Which is crazy in Greensboro. One thing about Greensboro, we are the 3rd biggest city in North Carolina. Charlotte's number 1, Raleigh's number 2, Greensboro's number 3. So I take pride in the fact that we have more than 5 people show up here. Like, this is a big deal to me. The fact that we have world-class players show up because they trust that I'm not gonna waste their time. In fact, they trust that I'm going to value their time. And that's what it's all about.
So tell me, what is your favorite memory here at IFM?
ATL pulled up with Greg, JJ Breeze, there was tons of people. And on stream, it was Greg versus Ethan Mitsu. And so, like, if you know who Ethan is as a player, that's the ultimate wild card Tekken player I've ever met in my life. There's every Yoshi's different, but like Ethan is just super different. He's a wild card, and like he's probably one of my favorite players to play. And like we're all gathered around because it's like the second game on stream today. So like we're all gathered around hype.
So IFM 14, when I won my first match on stream that I'd ever won on stream, because I always failed on stream, I was against Greg from 404. And the way Atlanta was hyping up the match during, and the way Greensboro was hyping up the match during, there was a major pop-off like right after that, and that energy will always be remembered.
Kanme has a very, very like prime example of what like grassroots FGC is, and everybody is always hype. So that makes sense. It ties it together like really well.
It would have to be when Mr. Joel beat Pochop. He beat Pochop in grand finals. And he got up. He lifted his fist up in the air like it was like this. I was like,
probably when Mr. Joel won IFM. This was when we were over in the venue by Food Lion. Beat Chop in grand finals and hit the Tiger Woods arm. Like he did that. He looked over. I was like, yeah, that's Mr. Joel. Probably that. That was a really cool moment.
I'm glad that like your guys' answers are like lining up. So I think it really shows the depth of how close you guys are, and I love that.
Favorite memory, I mean, it's a little controversial, but I want to say the mortgage matches, the $2,000 money matches.
Not being friendly, bro. You about to take this man money, and you trying to be friendly.
Now look at his face. Like,
this would be upset on the
Wait. So how many like matches? Like first to 20, first to 30? Like that's a crazy number.
The first one was first at I think 10 or 15. It was 1,000, and then they did again to 2,000 for like I think it was 20 or 25, but it was ridiculous.
That's insane. Do you think that something like that could happen again in these days?
Depends on the egos. We're more than welcome. We'll host it, whatever. People travel for that. But like when you literally have money matches, that's more than 10 times the amount of pot winnings. It's crazy.
Oh my God. Jeez. Shake his hand. That was too much.
I took out J5, who has been a bracket demon for me since I first started coming out. It was kind of a running joke, right? Every time I'd come to IFM, J5 would be my second match. And it was like this barrier I just could not pass. So the first time I went 3-2, it was 3-2 because I passed J5 in the bracket. And ever since then, he hasn't been that round 2 demon anymore. I can't beat him as much, but I'm getting him round 3 now, so.
Last IFM was pretty cool. So it was King Ray was here. A lot of the ATL guys were here. Me, Hendo, just so many good players. And besides some of the big events that I've been to, like DreamHack and Evo, it was just an actual meeting of like some of the best players on the East Coast. So like I said before, like just having that opportunity to place people offline, it's super fun because I mean everybody knows how online is. It's great to play good players, but you can just feel it right when you're offline. That like, yeah, this is crisp. This is nice. This is why I love Tekken. So.
Real Racing Roots 99 in Heaven and Hell. 3, 2, 1, go! Here we go. It's showtime.
And we're off to the races with pulls. And Ithamitsu is already pulling out the broken wall tech. Well done. See you in Season 2. Even in pulls, we can see expert techniques, like Rhythm using high crushes to combat Steve's small Tekken. And Mr. Joel is here terrorizing Leroy players with his own parries. Oh, and check this out.
Oh, the floor? Okay. Hey, yo, you like John Wick? Hey, here's the sequel, John Wick 2.
This was probably the hypest mirror match I've seen in a while. It was between Dandy and Benelli, with Benelli coming out on top. Another hype match I got to see was with King Ray's and Ara. Ara displayed great matchup awareness against Ray's Lydia. However, King Ray's wouldn't go down without a fight, consistently adapting to Ara by staying in his face.
Phone's activated.
Say what?
Oh my God,
it's so slow.
Hats off to both the players here, they put on a very great show. Tell me, how long have you been involved with Iron Fist Monthly, and what is your role?
I am a TO here, so tournament organizer, and I have been involved with IFM. Well, this will be my 3rd year actually. Like February is actually my anniversary, so 3 years in the fold. I'm still a newbie, still learning things, but I love it here. So yeah, I'm to you.
I believe I'm going on year 3. And right now I am the stream engineer for the monthly, and I do a little bit of the weekly sometimes.
Gotcha. So with 51 attendees, how has that been working out so far?
Ooh, it's getting a little hectic at some points, but I'm definitely enjoying seeing some of the familiar faces and the new people. So it's always good energy, especially because it's the first one of the year. I feel like everybody's really excited to see each other. So it's a little chaotic, but like family fun chaotic. It feels like I'm here with all my cousins.
That's a common theme that keeps reoccurring, is the family aspect of it, and I love that. And people, like, I'll ask them certain questions and they have the same exact answers. Like, I'll ask some of the players, like, what's your favorite memory? And then they just keep saying, like, the same memory. I'm like, this is perfect.
So I am one of the tournament organizers. I help run the brackets, call the matches, all of that. So I am right next to Brian with all of that. I'm just here for the vibes.
What is your favorite aspect of the community so far in those 3 years?
Everybody that I got to meet. I know a lot of places say that, like, oh, we're a family, and it'd be like, oh shit. We really are a family here. We've developed relationships. I've developed relationships, especially being new here and moving here from another state. I developed relationships outside of the FGC. So like those are my sisters in there. Brandon's my brother. So definitely the people and like the relationships I've built and the bonds that I've built with everybody. So that's my favorite thing.
I think Greensboro FGC does have a family feel. A lot of people who do visit from out of town, we have that southern hospitality effect. I feel like everybody who comes here, they love it. So, we're out to eat, hugs, everybody wants to get up the night before. So I do think that's my favorite part about Greensboro FGC. It does feel like a family.
Speaking of that, are we gonna get the legendary the legendary entrance pictures before the bracket?
Have to, we do. We always take our picture before the tournament starts. So I think that's what keeps us standing out from other tournaments as well. We always take our family photo. So yeah, it's a good staple.
My favorite aspect is seeing people improve and how welcoming we are for people at different player levels. Like watching somebody come in for the first time and they have like skill level is starter, and like watching them really work hard and like get tips from other people, very encouraging when they try out for bracket no matter which way it goes, and like seeing people actually progress and get better as the brackets go on. That's one of my favorite parts for sure.
I totally agree, because locals, like, they help start up and prepare people for the bigger things like monthlies, regionals, majors. So seeing that progress is just like, it's like you almost like fostered them, so to speak. So it's really awesome.
It really is. And like seeing some people come in and then like even now, like today, when they're playing in bracket, everybody's screaming, everybody's cheering, giving them encouragement, no matter how they place. Because I feel like sometimes locals couldn't get a bad rep of being stiff competition, but everybody's here is so welcoming and it makes everybody feel comfortable.
So what is your favorite part about organizing?
I think the creativity and just trying to see how better we can make it for our players. We're always trying to make sure that everybody's comfortable. How efficient can we be running a bigger bracket? How can we get y'all in and out of there quickly? So that's probably the better part for me about Tion as well.
My favorite part about organizing is the socialization. I know for me personally, it's very easy to just come and spectate, be quiet, just sit back, watch the event. But I feel like now I have more opportunity to meet people, interact. When people come in and we remember each other from the last event, or we remember each other from a bracket. It's always a good time to just get out of your shell. I feel like being a part of that really gave me an opportunity to do that within the grid.
Getting everybody together, like giving everybody somewhere to go on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, giving people a break. It's work, it's school, it's kids. Some of us got kids, so like give us everybody a common neutral place to just escape and vibe and play with people and enjoy time with people with like-mindedness.
How did it come about, you being an organizer? You know what I mean? Because some people they just go for it. They just feel that they have the knack for it, I guess is the right word to call it.
Honestly, I became a TO because Brandon was like, hey, why don't you just come visit, just come see IFM. So I was like, this is kind of cool. And that was when IFM was at the mall. So this is 2022. Then it kind of went from, hey, you want to help run the bracket? And I'm like, well, I don't know how to do this. He's like, don't worry, I'm gonna show you. So it literally went from me just checking people in, learning how to run a bracket, to, okay, well, what do you think about this? And I'm like, well, you sure you want my input? So it just kind of gradually happened for me to become, what I am now as a TL for IFM. So without my knowledge, it wasn't so much of a, okay, this is what I want to do. It just happened, which was the good part about it. I just kind of fell into it.
Originally it started off knee-based. When I met this group, I was kind of like a spectator, hanging out with my friends, having a good social time. And then once I got deeper into it, and I got closer to the people who run this, seeing them need help and seeing the support being available, I'm that kind of person where I do want to help any way I can if I'm coming around a lot or if I'm here all the time. I want to try to help the best way I can. So once we got into helping, I've done a little bit of bracket helping and doing that kind of thing, but I really do like the streaming aspect. Like, I get to watch everything and be a part of everything, but I'm also taking a lot of work and stress off of my friends' hands, which always, for me, makes me feel good. So once it started off like that, and I'm like, okay, I'm actually kind of good at this. Okay, I'm not terrible at a computer. Okay, cool. And, being able to make a space to be helpful for this community as much as they're helpful for me. So it felt great. So I feel like that's how I found out might be my spot where I might be more comfortable at.
It makes a lot of sense to me. And I thank you so much for everything that you guys do, for sure.
I think it was a second nature thing. Like, I kind of was coming around. I was in a relationship. They introduced me into the scene and the FGC and things, and I kind of just would come around and sit back and watch. And I was like, oh, this looks fun. Lily looks cool. I want to try. So I started learning the game, and Brandon has a tendency to just throw you up there. And he was like, hey, can you run boards for me? Can you do this? So I learned how to run the stream, and that's where I started, was being a stream engineer. And then from there, I kind of just built to where I was like, okay, one of the prominent members here and one of the higher ups. So it kind of just flowed natural.
So you work alongside with Scotty now,
yes.
right?
Yes.
What is the most challenging thing so far for you?
To be honest, it's the socializing. I'm a very quiet, in the corner type of gal. So it's the socializing, but once I get to know you, once I get to interact with people, it does come a little, secondhand once I just interact with people and get to know you, see your face a lot, and then it's a little relationship there. So yeah, the socializing is the hardest part for me.
Yeah, I would say that we touch on that a lot with these interviews so far, where we're kind of making the comparison between players preparing for matchups while TOs have to prepare for the personality matchup.
Oh, yes, because you get a lot of different people. You have to make sure, you're sensitive to everybody, because you get people from all walks of life. So you just have to make sure you have those social skills in order to be able to be, sensitive. Just make sure everybody feels welcome.
Have empathy, right?
Yes, absolutely.
What advice would you give to new or existing TOs?
I would just say, just be consistent. The reason why, people show up is because, to be honest with you, I run a tournament every weekend of the month. Every first, second, third, fourth Friday or Saturday, I'm running something. On Saturdays, if I'm not doing anything, my personal life, I'm going to support, the other tournaments, whether it's in Atlanta with 404, whether it's in Virginia, with Samori and them up in Virginia Beach, or RDU Tekken. There's a lot of RDU Tekken players that are here as well, which is Raleigh Durham for y'all that don't really know about their acronyms. But yeah, so just be consistent. Don't really worry about the numbers. Just make it your life. Reason why people drive 5, 6, 7 hours is because they know they're going to have a good time. I to be honest with you, I'm really, not trying to be arrogant, but I've never really had a complaint about IFM, which is crazy considering I've been doing this for 3 years. But, I'll do this for free. I've been doing it for free, but it's not really about the money. It should be something that you enjoy. If it's something, if you're trying to do this for the money, you're in the wrong place.
No, and I always tell players, it's like, if you're not having fun, you're not learning. Right. If you're coming out just for the money, then you're not for the competition, and you're never going to win with that mindset.
Right.
Real Racing Roots 99 in Helter Skelter.
We're gonna start off top 8 with this very sweaty losers match, Sol Naciente versus Static. Unfortunately, a series of major matchup mistakes and lack of stage awareness compounded into a loss for Sol Naciente. On the winner's side, we have Ace Unlimited versus Kugo. Here at first, Kugo was doing well by catching Ace's timing, although Ace, very quick to adapt, started calling him out for it. This led to Kugo being a little too impulsive, and Ace began to capitalize on it, clutching the win. Mr. Joel started out with good matchup knowledge, pressure, and decision making. However, he couldn't optimize his rewards and got punished heavily for it. Did you know that Rage Art is a good option select for any version of Heihachi's down forward 1-2? Good games to both players. Back in losers, we have Xiao versus Hendo in the mirror match. Xiao put up a good fight, but Hendo came out on top. Hendo moved on to face Mr. Joel, who was previously put into losers by Rhythm. Hendo did not allow Joel to play the game, forcing Joel to switch to Kazuya. But it wasn't enough. Hendo still managed to smother out Joel's defense, and stuff him out of his offense. So far, Hendo's making quite the loser's run. The second round of losers quarters, we have Kugo versus Static. Static was doing really well with pressure until Kugo found the heat button. Excellent reaction time here by Kugo. Static was making the right matchup decisions. He employed good active defense against Kuma's onslaught. After all, Kugo was still letting his impulses feed his decision making. In the end, Static became way too comfortable with pressing on negative frames, ensuring his defeat. We finally made it to winners finals. Rhythm versus Ace Unlimited. If you know Ace as well as I do, every round is going to be a timeout. Both of these players were really patient, and there were several buzzer beater situations throughout this first to three. The thing is, you have to match Ace's pace, because June has way too many active defensive options that can blow you up if you press too much, and Ace is perfect at doing so. You can just see Rhythm's caution on where to place his buttons. Not cautious enough. Three hours later, Rhythm wins. Going back down to loser semis, we got Kugo versus Hendo. Hendo does a good job at shutting down Kugo's heat, as well as using his patience to counteract Kugo's impulsions. Check out Hendo's optimal spacing here to counteract Kugo's heat. Losers Finals, Ace Unlimited versus Hendo. If you've managed to make it this far, take a shot for every round that lasts over 30 seconds. Hendo is displaying frame-tight decision-making, not allowing Ace to use active defense. This would lead to his victory. And you're a pretty high performer online and offline. Do you have any rivals here?
Here, I'd say my rival is most likely Hendo. Me and him have gone back and forth many times. There's a little stint where I beat him almost every time in grand finals in every local and regional here in this, like, on the East Coast that we went to. But the latest IFM, I think he had beat me in the winner side in top 8, and then I had lost in the loser bracket, so I didn't get to my rematch, and he won that IFM. So hopefully I can kind of take that crown back today. That's the goal, at least.
Real Racing Roots 99 in Shooting Hoops.
Hendo had to make it all the way from losers round 6 to get this far. His momentum was at its peak going into this grand finals, which would make it a tall order for Rhythm sitting at winner's side. Seeing such excellent play in a local tournament is truly a testament to how important they are to a development of a fighting game scene. It's not just about the games you get with others. These locals are the nourishment of the soul. They are essential for your growth not only as a player, but as a person living with others in a passionate community. The TOs, streamers, commentators, and players come together with a passion for competition, and the resulting scene is not something to be taken for granted. You get so much for being a part of this community, I can't overstate it. This is why we are making this series, to shine a light on the importance of your local scene. Because without it, these games die, and so does the passion of the people that play it. So when people say support your locals, it comes from the heart. You'll make great friends, eat delicious food, and most of all, you'll get pretty damn good at the game.
I'm not going out. Oh, runs up and just sending 1-2. He's got a chance. 4-4-2. Down 4-3. Not gonna happen. Sol Naciente sends Anakin to loser. Get off of me. He closes it out. Armor. He's popping off a little bit, taking a deep breath. The coaches are running up on the stage.
Oh my God. GG's Kugo. You did such a nice job right here. Oh my goodness. It's over. We have a bear in top 8 Kugo.
70% life deficit and the little backdash into another heat smash with punish.
Oh, he actually ducked it but got up into it a little too early. Nicely done. Wow.
10 minutes.
So tell me, sorry, I have flashcards here, and so I'm like, can we edit that out maybe? Maybe.
Hey, I need everybody to take 3 steps to the right. Cha-cha, there we go. All right.
Please take the parking ticket. Please enter following.
Get riding that clutch, bitch. God.
And then after the second one, you're minus 13 that turn. So whatever the fuck. Right.
I say the humidity definitely goes down. I mean, it's
still like relative.
I didn't do it. Here you go.
Which was the on purpose. I mean, it's not that way.
Ruthie. Retta.
So we already had like the first round. Let's give it up for Dandy. He's here. Let's go. Hey, next time wait for the elevator. Oh wait. Wait. Scissors, shoot. Oh wait, that was paper. Those are weird paper.
Looking forward to it.
I was gonna say, make it hype, make it hype. Thank you.
This is a tournament. Why y'all look down like y'all about to go to jail?
Stay with your chest out.
Go ahead and let the viewers know where to find you, your socials, lay it all out on the table, whatever you want to say.
So I am Dandy Raytona of Greensboro, North Carolina. I am not on any social media anywhere. I recently deleted my Twitter. You should too. You can find me on Discord in the IFM/Greensboro FGC community Discord. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my Twitter is Xiao XIAONC _.
My name is DJ. You can find me on Twitter at the kid called D or X, whatever. Oh, stream. I started streaming recently just to like show my ranked progress. DJ Locked In.
Gotcha. So you can find me on YouTube and Twitter at Ethamitsu FGC, and then I want to say it's Ethamitsu, just Ethamitsu on Twitch.
I am JNY5, pretty much on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want to find me. Facebook, you can find me through Brandon's. My first name is Rensme. I'm probably the only Rensme unless Twilight wants to ruin that my rest of my life. But pretty much from there, that's where you can find me, and I'm always available. You guys can find me on Top 8 on Commentary.
The only thing I got is you can follow me on X or Twitter at Rhythm Enjoyer. Other than that, check out my brother Joe Crush. Streams every day almost. Posts great content on YouTube at TK Joe Crush. I would say check out some of his content. I'm trying to start doing my little bit of my own thing, but I'll let you guys know when that happens on Rhythm Enjoyer on X.
So my tag is Benelli, BENELI. It's Benelli _TK on Twitter, all caps Benelli _lowercase TK. I'm not super active on Twitter. I'm a retweet account really. I don't do a lot. I occasionally stream, same exact as Twitter, Benelli _TK on Twitch. I show up to the locals, I hang out. I'm not super active on social media or streaming. So if you want to find me, come to Greensboro.
Yeah, come to your locals. Thank you, Benelli. No problem. Let the viewers know where to find you, your socials, just anything you want to throw out there, just throw it out, all out on the table.
Okay, guys, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Discord. All the same handle, Ruthless _Retta. And if you ever want to reach out to say hello, I go by Ruthie, so it'd be nice to meet you. And come out to visit IFM whenever you have a chance.
Okay, you can always find me on Twitter. My name is MMHM Scotty. You can find me on Instagram. It's Scotty Deer, and then Scotty Deer 23 is my gamer tag on PSN. I do find myself online on Tekken sometimes, so we can play. Yeah, that's how you can find me.
Okay, so I am Curly Angel. That's KURLEYANGEL. That's across all platforms, so Twitter, Twitch. If you type in Curly Angel on TikTok, you'll find me. I've been playing a lot of Rivals lately, so you see my score guard clips up there, But that's where you can find me. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Bestie. Shout out to my family here at IFM. Shout out to Big T-Roy. I love you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. So shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to all my supporters. Shout out to Greensboro Tekken, RDU Tekken, the Charlotte players. Shout out to the Atlanta players, the Midwest. I'm going to my first combo breaker this year. Hopefully I can meet a lot of you Midwest players that I've been talking to on Twitter. Shout out to my OG Scott Popular in Japan. Thank you for letting me stay with you for those 2 weeks. Changed my life. Shout out to Zeus. I don't know if did I say Greensboro Tekken? Yeah, I think I did. But yeah, for my handles on social media, Twitter, Brandometry, Instagram, Brandometry, TikTok, Brandometry. If you use the Snapchat, still using Snapchat in 2025, Brandometry as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you.